not going to be able to get this on camera with the wrapping of the wire, but I'm going to show you really closely up here on how tight these wet wires have to be wrapped around these wicks. Now I'm going to adjust and I'm going to start wrapping. Oh yeah, that is a really nicely tight wrapped coil. Then double check to see how many wraps I got in it. Okay, there's 8 wraps here. This is 32 gauge wire. I'm going to show you how tightly you got to wrap them coils. There we go. See how nice and close and tight them are? That'll fit down. That's 8 wraps of 32 gauge. Barely any gap between them. That's what you're going to need for putting down into the iclear head. That way you can do 2 of them. That's 8 wraps right there. I'm going to do another coil just like that one. This is kind of hard to get the coil wrapped as tight as you can. Yeah, that there. But once you learn how to do this and get it tight like this, just like second nature. Actually, that head looks a heck of a lot better. Gonna pull this wire here down. I'm gonna show you this coil that I just wrapped. Okay, get it close. That looks good. So now I'm gonna go back to my little desk here. Now that I've got this all done, I'm going to try to get these wires as straight as possible. This is going to be my bottom coil here. It's got the shorter of the wires, that's why I'm going to make this bottom. Hopefully. Yeah, I got this wire. I got the wires too short. Cut them too short. Now, it happens. This is why you want to try to get them as straight as possible. That way, it's easier to get them in. First one through. Second one is through. So basically you do like you do with your BB tank. One off the side for negative, the other one for positive. Now I gotta work with these wires and basically do the same thing. Get them as straight as possible. Well, these ones you want to bend in a little bit. Hopefully I have enough wire here to get these through there. one through. I got them both through. Again, you want to look at your wires. This one here, it's going to be negative for that one. So I have negative here. Oh, didn't realize I wasn't on camera, but I got a negative here, negative here. I had to actually look at while I was putting it together. Now the biggest pain of doing this is getting this rubber grommet right here, this tiny little thing, into this hole with the two wires in it. Now this is where a couple of screwdrivers come in. One goes like that. The other one, I'm going to come over to this side and slowly, between the two, work this rubber grommet in. And as you can see, I'm actually pushing this. No, come on. I wanted it to go the other way. Okay. Because if you're not very careful with this, you will end up pushing the rubber grommet all the way through and have to start over again. So you got to be very delicate with it. But once you get it in place, which I think I just did without any major problems, sweet. Then you take your two positives, pull them over, just like so. Secure the center pin. What I normally do is just go like that, push it in. Now the reason why I'm rebuilding this one is I had one of the coils not firing on this, so well, one of the coils popped on it, and I don't know why, so I had to rebuild it. Again, this is the second time I rebuilt this head. I had another head that wasn't too good, and I rebuilt it. So what I'm going to do is, where are my little pliers at? They're down here. Of course, over as close to the center as I can. I'm going to take my fingernail clippers, go in here, clip the one, come over here and clip the other. Now, I know there's quite a bit of wire there, but what I'm going to do with the wire that's left over, I'm going to just push onto the center pin, because the center pin is a little bit loose. That way when you screw the head down onto the device, it will actually push onto the wires and give you a better connection. I think that's why I popped the one coil. Well, the one coil wasn't working all the time, because it was actually held in place with the actual pin and not by the... Okay, gonna break out my iclear 30 here. Oh, no, wrong one. I'm gonna just remove this head and finish cutting the wires on this and putting them down in where I need them. Now what I'm going to do is take these two wires and do the same thing I did with the positive wires. I'm going to do them one at a time. I'm going to pull it over to the side. I know you can't see what I'm doing with the wires, but I'm going to pull it over to the side, take my fingernail clippers, cut it as close to that the center as I can. And this here, if I can remember, is the ground or the negative. And I'm going to actually just sit here and take this screwdriver and force it down out of the way. And I'm going to hold it up into the light. Nope, didn't get the wire down out of the threads yet. But I'm going to work with it like this until I get all the way down in there. This is why it's so freaking nice to have. No, that's gonna short. No, it's not. Okay. But I gotta come up with the camera a little bit. That way you guys can see what I'm doing here. Because I gotta hold it to where I can see it in the light. I almost have that wire down in there where I want it. That way it's not gonna short out on anything. And I'm gonna push right here. That wire's just sticking out just enough right there to where it will be a little bit of a problem. Now that one's fixed. Now I'm going to pull this other one up. Oh, now you can see the wire. I'm going to pull it into the center. Again, I'm going to take my fingernail clippers. I'm going to come in here. Why does this not always want to cut when I want it to? Again, I'm going to cut that wire. This one I actually got shorter like I want. I'm going to push it just like I did the other. I'm going to push this wire the exact same way as I did the last one. Same direction. This one seems like it's going to be a little bit more of a pain. What I'm doing is basically getting this wire out of the threads like it is right now. Now this is perfectly put together. I'm actually going to put it on the iclear 30 base. Test the ohms. And check to see if, which is what I use to do all my testing with. It's better than getting a ohm meter. 1.6 ohms. Let's see if both coils are firing perfectly. They're firing evenly. And where is the voltage at on this? 4.6 volts, a little bit low. It's 1.6 ohm. Man, you talking about them coils firing good. They're firing evenly. Yep, I just ran into the cutoff on it. That's the best I've done so far on these. They're firing evenly, perfectly fine. And I'm going to show you how I cut the... Ooh, a little hot too. Okay, now I got this thing perfectly set. The tighter you get the coils, the hotter they'll get, the quicker they get. Running 32 gauge, you got to do about 8 wraps. You know, a good 1.6 ohm dual coil, which is telling me that it is 3 ohm point. Let's see, that means they are 3.5 ohm coils. Now the way I'm going to cut my wick, this is the easiest way to do it. Pull your wick down, hold it just like this, take something really sharp and cut the wicks off right at the base of the head. This is how I always cut my wicks. Keep them nice and long. I'm going to go around all 4 sides and do the same thing. Basically, now I have a perfectly built head. Now I am going to have to do some editing. Thanks for watching. Vape on and catch you later.